Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of athletic icons. I'm your host, Howard Closewell, and today we're going to explore the extraordinary life of Maurice Richard, the legendary Canadian hockey player who left an indelible mark on the sport. As we embark on this biographical journey, get ready to discover the intricate tapestry of influences, experiences, and passions that shaped one of the most iconic figures in hockey history. Born on August 4, 1921, in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Maurice Richard entered a world where hockey was not just a sport, but a way of life. The city's East End, with its rugged working-class neighborhoods, was a hotbed of hockey enthusiasm. The sounds of sticks slapping against pucks and the smell of wood smoke from outdoor rinks filled the crisp winter air, creating an atmosphere that was both exhilarating and unforgiving. It was here, amidst the narrow streets and closely packed houses, that Maurice's love affair with hockey began. The Richards were a humble family, with Maurice's father, Onésime, working as a machinist to provide for his wife, Alice, and their 8 children. The family's small 3-story house on Rue Saint-Zéphirin was a hub of activity, with children playing hockey in the backyard, using makeshift sticks and pucks fashioned from tin cans and newspaper. This DIY approach to hockey was not uncommon in Montreal's working-class neighborhoods, where families made do with what they had, often relying on creativity and resourcefulness to create their own entertainment. As a young boy, Maurice was enchanted by the stories of his older brothers, who regaled him with tales of hockey heroes like Nuzi Lalonde and Didier Pitre. These legends sparked something deep within Maurice, and he became determined to follow in their footsteps. He would spend hours listening to his brothers' stories, his eyes wide with wonder, as they described the exploits of these hockey pioneers. The Richard family's living room, with its worn armchairs and flickering radio, was a place where dreams were born, and Maurice's passion for hockey was ignited. Maurice's childhood was not without its challenges, however. His family struggled financially, and he often had to wear hand-me-down skates and equipment that were well past their prime. Yet, it was precisely this adversity that instilled in him a fierce work ethic and an unyielding passion for the game. As he navigated the frozen ponds and outdoor rinks of Montreal, Maurice developed a unique skating style, characterized by his low center of gravity, lightning-quick reflexes, and an uncanny ability to read the play. This distinctive style would eventually become his trademark, earning him the nickname, the Rocket, and striking fear into the hearts of opposing goalies. The Great Depression cast a long shadow over Maurice's formative years, with many families in Montreal struggling to make ends meet. However, in the midst of this economic turmoil, hockey provided a much-needed escape, a sense of community, and a glimmer of hope. The Richard family would often gather around the radio to listen to broadcasts of Montreal Canadiens games, their imagination sparked by the vivid descriptions of play-by-play announcers like Tommy Sheridan. These broadcasts were more than just entertainment. They were a way for families to come together, to forget their troubles, and to dream of better times. As Maurice entered his teenage years, he began to make a name for himself in local hockey circles. He joined the Montreal Junior Canadiens, where he quickly established himself as a dominant force, with a rare combination of speed, skill, and tenacity. It was during this period that Maurice developed a close relationship with his coach, Nuzi Lalonde, who would become a mentor and a guiding influence in his early career. Lalonde, a Hockey Hall of Famer and one of the greatest players of his era, saw something special in Maurice, a spark that he was determined to fan into a flame. The historical context of Maurice's early years is crucial to understanding the trajectory of his life. The 1930s were a time of great social change in Quebec, with the rise of nationalism and the Quiet Revolution, which would eventually transform the province's language, culture, and politics. As a French-Canadian athlete, Maurice would soon find himself at the forefront of this cultural shift, becoming an icon for his community and a symbol of resistance against the dominant Anglophone establishment. This complex web of social, cultural, and historical forces would shape Maurice's identity and inform his actions, both on and off the ice. Rather, It was the product of a complex interplay between his family, community, and historical context. The values of hard work, perseverance, and dedication that were instilled in him during these formative years would serve as the foundation for his eventual rise to greatness. And so, with the stage set and the narrative unfolding, we find ourselves at the threshold of a remarkable journey, one that will take us from the frozen ponds of Montreal to the bright lights of the NHL, and ultimately into the very heart of hockey legend. As Maurice Richard's junior career reached its crescendo, he caught the attention of the Montreal Canadiens management, who were eager to infuse their team with fresh talent and revitalize their roster. On October 30th, 1942, Richard made his NHL debut against the Boston Bruins, marking the beginning of a storied career that would span over a decade and forever etch his name in the annals of hockey history. Though he scored only 5 goals in his rookie season, his speed, agility, and tenacious forechecking quickly earned him a reputation as a formidable opponent, one who would stop at nothing to win. The 1943-1944 season proved to be a breakout year for Richard as he formed a potent scoring line with Elmer Locke and Toe Blake. The trio's chemistry was undeniable, with Richard's lightning-fast breaks down the wing complemented by Locke's exceptional playmaking abilities and Blake's clutch goal-scoring. On December 12, 1943, Richard scored his first career hat-trick against the Chicago Blackhawks, a feat that would become a recurring theme throughout his career. As he celebrated each goal with his trademark enthusiasm, the Montreal crowd was electrified, sensing that they were witnessing something special, the birth of a legend. Richard's ascension to stardom was not without its challenges, however. He faced intense scrutiny from the media and fans, who expected him to live up to the lofty standards set by his predecessors. The pressure took a toll on Richard, who struggled with the weight of responsibility and the constant attention. In a conversation with teammate Toe Blake, Richard confided, "I feel like I'm under a microscope all the time. Every move I make is magnified. Every mistake I make is criticized." Blake's sage advice, "Just play your game, Rocket. The rest will take care of itself," would become a mantra for Richard, helping him to navigate the pressures of fame and focus on what truly mattered, his performance on the ice. As Richard navigated the complexities of fame, he began to develop a mental toughness that would serve him well throughout his career. He learned to channel his anxiety into a fierce competitiveness, using it to fuel his training and drive him to excel. "When I'm on the ice, I'm in a different world," Richard once said. "Nothing else matters except the game, my teammates, and the puck." This singular focus allowed him to transcend the distractions and pressures that surrounded him, to enter a state of flow where he was completely immersed in the game. The 1944-1945 season saw Richard's star continue to rise, as he scored 32 goals and added 22 assists in just 50 games. His impressive performance earned him a spot on the NHL's first All-Star team, alongside other legends like Bill Cowley and Flash Hollett. As Richard's confidence grew, so did his on-ice persona, the intense, focused competitor who would stop at nothing to win. He became known for his unwavering dedication, his unrelenting passion for the game, and his uncanny ability to rise to the occasion when it mattered most. On March 13, 1947, Richard scored his 45th goal of the season against the Boston Bruins, breaking the single-season record previously held by Joe Malone. The achievement sparked a frenzy of excitement among Canadiens fans, who saw in Richard a hero who embodied the values of their community: hard work, determination, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. As Richard's career continued to soar, he would become an icon not only for Montreal but for all of Quebec, inspiring generations of French-Canadian players to follow in his footsteps. The 1950s would prove to be a decade of unparalleled success for Richard and the Canadiens. With teammates like Jean Beliveau, Doug Harvey, and Jacques Plante, Richard formed part of a dynasty that would dominate the NHL for years to come. On April 10, 1951, Richard scored his 50th goal of the season against the Boston Bruins, becoming the first player in NHL history to reach the milestone. The achievement cemented Richard's status as one of the greatest goal scorers in hockey history, and his name became synonymous with excellence on the ice. As Richard's legend grew, so did his influence off the ice. He became a beloved figure in Montreal, known for his humility, kindness, and generosity. Richard's commitment to his community was evident in his numerous charitable endeavors, from visiting hospitals and schools to supporting local youth hockey programs. "I'm just a simple guy from Montreal who loves to play hockey," Richard once said. "If I can inspire kids to chase their dreams, then that's the greatest reward of all." His impact extended far beyond the rink, as he became a role model for an entire generation of young Quebecers, showing them that with hard work and determination, they could achieve greatness. As the 1950s drew to a close, Maurice Richard's on-ice career was slowly winding down, but his impact on the sport of hockey continued to grow like a mighty crescendo, leaving an indelible mark on the game that would reverberate for generations to come. The Rocket had blazed a trail of glory, inspiring countless players with his electrifying performances, his name becoming synonymous with excellence, passion, and dedication. In the years following his retirement, Richard remained deeply involved in the hockey community, working as a coach, scout, and ambassador for the Montreal Canadiens, imparting his wisdom, expertise, and love for the game to a new generation of players. He was also a devoted family man, cherishing time with his wife, Lucille, and their 7 children, who brought him immense joy and fulfillment. Despite his many accomplishments, Richard never forgot his humble beginnings, often speaking about the importance of hard work, perseverance, and staying true to one's roots, his words echoing like a mantra, inspiring countless young players to follow in his footsteps. As the years passed, Richard's legacy continued to grow, with numerous accolades and recognitions pouring in like a tidal wave of admiration. His iconic number 16 jersey was retired by the Montreal Canadiens in 1966, a poignant tribute to the man and the player who had given his heart and soul to the team. Maurice Richard's life came full circle on May 27, 2000, when he passed away at the age of 78, surrounded by his loved ones, his family, and his friends, who mourned the loss of a true legend. His funeral procession through the streets of Montreal was a poignant tribute to the man and the player, with thousands of fans lining the route to pay their respects, their faces etched with sadness, yet also with gratitude for the memories, the excitement, and the inspiration he had brought into their lives. As one observer noted, the Rocket had left behind a legacy that would continue to inspire generations of hockey players and fans, a reminder that, with hard work, dedication, and a passion for the game, anything is possible. That the boundaries of human potential can be pushed to extraordinary heights. He was a cultural icon, a symbol of French-Canadian pride and identity, and a beacon of hope for anyone who had ever been told they weren't good enough, that they didn't belong, or that their dreams were impossible to achieve. As Richard himself once said, "I'm not just a hockey player. I'm a man from Montreal who loves his city, his people, and his sport." Words that capture the essence of a man who lived life on his own terms, always staying true to himself and his values. Like a North Star shining brightly in the night sky, today, Maurice Richard's legacy continues to inspire and influence the world of hockey, like a mighty river flowing through the landscape of the sport. His story serves as a reminder that with hard work, determination, and a passion for what you do, you can achieve greatness, regardless of your background or circumstances, that the power to shape your own destiny lies within you, waiting to be unleashed like a pent-up force. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.